Now we're ready to use our service, and you already know where we're going to use that service. So we're going to use that service in the user implementation, and we have to make this call right here after all of this have been successful. So let's bring in the service into the class. So here I'm going to do private, and I'm going to do email service, and I'm going to call it email service. And of course I need to pass it into the constructor. Copy this, scroll to the right, and pass it in here. And then after that, probably need to put this on a no line. I just like to have everything horizontal, so I don't like to have like multiple lines. But that's just a preference. You should definitely move this to the next line. And then here I'm gonna do this email service equals email service. Oops, like this. So that way it's wired into this class right here, so we can use this email service now. And all we have to do is to go down there, go into the register method. So right here, I'm still gonna keep this line, but you should definitely remove this line because you don't want to expose this password. And then here I'm gonna call the service, and I'm gonna call send no password email, and I'm gonna pass in the first name. So that's gonna be the first name right here. And I need to pass in the password. So that's not going to be the encoded password. That's going to be the raw password, so the actual password. And then I'm going to pass in the email. Okay, so you have to be careful with those parameters because they're all strings. If we go back, see, they're all strings. So you have to remember the placement of them. So you have to remember the first one is the first name, password, and an email. So first name, password, email. So here we have to add the exception to this class, into this method, and it should be added right here, and we should be good to go. And again, if you don't want to add this exception to the method signature like this, you can just do a try catch into this class right here, so that you don't have to handle it anywhere else. So now we should be ready to test this application. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the application, and then sign up with someone, and then check to see if we got the email. But don't forget, you have to actually put your actual. I can show you now because I already put in the email service. I already put in my actual, one of my Gmail accounts with my actual passwords. So you have to remember to do that. And then the next thing you have to do is to enable less secure app on that Gmail account. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this, and then we're gonna give it a try. So the application is up. So let's go into the resource, and let's see what we need to send again. So for the register, we need to send first name, last name, username, and email. So can I go back to Postman? So username, can I copy this? Oops. Paste it twice. So the first one is going to be first name, and this is last name, and I'm gonna put some different values here. So for the first name, I'm gonna put Rick, and the last name I'm gonna put Sanchez, and the email username I'm gonna put Rick, and for the email I'm gonna put like one of my real email. So I'm gonna blur that, but you should put a real email so that you can test this. So I'm gonna put my email here, and remember we're sending a push request to localhost 8081 to /user/register. So once we send this over and then it's successful, we should be able to get an actual email in our email. Actually, before we send the request, let's go ahead and make this change right here. So I ran the application earlier, and I sent the actual request, and it fails. And when I debug the code, it's because I forgot to change this to CC instead of I had 2 here, but I should have CC in here. So go back into your email service, and then here, so you have the 2, which is gonna take the actual email, which is this person right here. And then for the CC email, make sure you change this to CC, which is just a static import that I do here. So it has to come from Java XML message and then recipient type CC. So here, okay. So if you don't have that, it's gonna cause an error. So make sure you have CC here. So now we should be ready to test this. So here, I have the app running, so I'm gonna go ahead and send this request again. So I'm gonna go ahead and send the request. Send, and okay, so we can see we have a 200 response. Here's the user, and we have a 200. So now if I check my email, I should see the email into my email inbox. You can see here I get this new email here. If I click on it, you can see hello Rick, your new account password is, there's the password, the support team. So from here on out, that's how we're gonna be sending password. We're not gonna be logging anything anymore to the console. At least we have a way now to just send it directly to the user signing in and signing up with their email. So we can go back now and pretty much just go into the email service, and we don't need this line anymore. So, and we're gonna use the same service to actually send the email to someone if they actually updated their password. So that's coming up in the future. So you can see how convenient this can be when you actually can just use the email that they use to actually create the account and then send them an email with the actual password that they use.